if you besides Vin Diesel, who do you think could play the character?
Who do I think would play a good character for Bloodshot?
Yeah.
I would say Liev Schreiber. He's the guy who did Ray Donovan, and he played Sabretooth in the first X-Men or one of the X-Men's. Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I think that he would be a good, fearsome character, somebody like who would do a good fight. I think so anyway.
Oh no,
Yeah.
absolutely, I agree. I agree. I was completely invested into this film, right?
Okay.
Even going into it, I knew there was a twist. I knew what the twist was.
Mm.
The twist is given to you in the commercial, but the twist is given so late in this movie that you
Mhm.
forget. Oh, that I forgot about the twist. So when it happens, you're like, oh man. They change the tables on you like I think 40 minutes into the movie
Yeah.
and reboots itself sort of and
Okay.
becomes this whole different thing. And I thought it was fine, but then it became too self-aware that how much it was like jokey on itself.
Okay.
Which brings me to the part that I thought was my favorite part of the film, and
Which one?
that Psycho Killer dance routine
Oh yeah, yeah.
where he has like the slippers on and he's dancing, and because that to me that was the funniest part of the film for me, and
Mm.
so that was like fun, and then it calls back to it in a way saying how silly it really was, being very self-aware that it's an actual program. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, it's actually a simulation, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing I will say, the part that I disliked the most was the fact that you find out that his team are just
Mhm.
actors. That they're just caretakers for him when he does his, because he's a one-man army, and they
Yeah.
don't have any actual function but to replay the same characters over and over and over again.
Hmm.
So when you realize you have all these cool characters, but they have no real role, so
Yeah.
that kind of upset me a little bit. Because like you could have done more with it, and they didn't go there.
That's true. That's true. Like it's the same people over again, acting like the same people. Yeah, you're right. They actually could have done a lot more, maybe brought in a lot more villains or whatever, or bad guys,
Yeah.
ratio wise to, like, I guess, men versus women.
Or yeah, diversifying it. Yeah.
Exactly. You
Mhm.
know, yeah, that kind of made me, you know, a bit sad. I thought they could have done a bit more. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on
And how would you rate it?
that. Would I rate it? I don't know, maybe a six or maybe a seven.
Hmm.
You know, because it being same people again, and it was okay. Kind of got a bit boring though, but
Yeah.
I did like the end where the guy looked like the multi-layered guy with, like, I guess, 6 arms or 7 arms.
All right. Yeah.
That that was cool. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
No, it was cool how how they hooked him up into that harness, like because he had to put all those little uh, like bolts on his back in order to hook him up self to do that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool though. That was sweet. That was
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. I'll also say, because we mentioned this before off air, like I think last week, where it's like he reminded me of what's his name is I think his first name is Oscar Thesaurus, the South
Yeah,
African guy who was an athlete, but he was at a young age amputated his feet
yeah, 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 yeah.
and was accused. Well, he was accused. He was convicted for killing his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right.
So when I saw that, I automatically kind of like knew he was a villain because that was in the like zeitgeist in my mind of knowing, oh, because Thesaurus was considered a villain character in real life,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
and the irony is that this was shot mostly in Cape Town.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so so the fact that it was in South Africa and one of your leading characters is based roughly on a character that lives there still, who is a
is
villain. Yeah.
it?
It's a double, it's a, not I won't say the double entendre, but it's a little too much on the nose of being okay, like a person of the city like Toronto when they shot the Incredible Hulk, and you knew Sam the Record Man is
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's the icons in the city, the iconography of the city. The fact that you have your villain is a character who is homegrown,
Yeah,
must be a little bit I don't know if it's exciting or disappointing for the locals.
Oh yeah, I guess, but no. Oh well. Still, it was good. I like the scenery, the buildings and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Vin Diesel, he was okay as Bloodshot. I liked him. You know, there was a lot of action stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
Uh, would you classify his character as a tragic figure because of what he was going through?
yeah, I would because like it wasn't his fault, that he got turned into a super soldier or whatever.
Hmm.
Like his life. He had a wife and a little girl, and he was just going about his day. And he got um, turned into a super soldier, so
Right.
his life, has to change by himself, and he's kind of like a poor guy, so I kind of feel a bit sorry for him.
Hmm. And the last thing is, is it a rent or a buy?
Um, I would it I would buy. Well, I wouldn't buy it, but if somebody gave it to me for a present, I definitely keep it and watch it once in a while, like maybe once a year. I thought it was pretty good, but it's not a buy for me.
Yeah, same here. For me, I wouldn't buy it, but like if it was like on television on the background while you're doing dishes or cooking, then I'd be fine. It's the
Oh,
kind
for
of
sure.
yeah, it's the kind of movie that's not. It's not like it's not a bad film, but it's just the kind of film that it's good to have just in the background.
Hmm.
Yes, you do something because it's not a priority type thing. It's like watching like the Fantastic Four with Silver Surfer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a fun movie, but it's not a movie that I would sit down and want to watch like over and over again. But just to have it in the background, it's entertaining, and it
Mhm.
kind of fills your time.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was good too. I like that one as well.